Well, hey there, it's Jenny Wolek with the Wolek Group, Keller Williams Realty in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I am so honored to speak with Kimberly Guiry. We are relaunching our Agent Success Secrets. And although Kimberly isn't an agent per se, she coaches all us crazy agents every single day, helping us with our performance and our lives, and now even launching the KW Wellness Community, which I'm super excited about. So I'm going to let Kimberly tell who you are, what you do, and let's just get going. Kimberly, thank you for joining me.
And thank you so much for the invite to be here. My name is Kimberly Guiry. I'm a MAPS performance coach, which means I coach to an agent's production and all 7 circles of their lives. So in that coaching relationship, there's really nothing off the table. We coach to what's happening in the mindset, in the emotional states, in perhaps an area of life, a key relationship, health, and how that's impacting the business. And we look for the success in the business, which is our qualitative. And then we also look for quantitative. Is the business improving? Is your life getting better? So it's an amazing role to be a performance coach, to look at someone's whole perspective and bring that into the coaching call. I'm also the life coach lead, and I have the opportunity to lead and train and develop the program. We have amazing life coaches who actually coach only to the life where business is not a part of the conversation. So there could be anything that's going on, that perhaps a divorce or something that's challenging you in your mindset, or you want to grow in your leadership skills. There's any topic that we can coach to in life coaching, and we have that division as well. And this year at Family Reunion 2023, I was tapped to lead the KW Wellness Community, which has been a labor of love. I absolutely am passionate about well-being and helping agents and leadership develop a culture of wellness for themselves.
All of that is so amazing. And I'm most excited about the fact that you are coaching and helping us real estate agents who can get so lost in the grind and the stress, the excitement and the joy and the depression all in the same, 1 hour period of a real estate agent. And instead, we're going to focus on the whole person. My favorite page of the one thing is page 114. You know what it is?
Yes,
Those
absolutely.
7 circles, because we can get so out of balance. And we know that there is no such thing as balance. It's bunk, but rather counterbalance. So it sounds like that's something really important to you. And how have you, taken those lessons from the one thing and the MREA and all of the tools that we have here at Keller Williams? How have you taken those to help our agent community work through challenging times like we're in right now?
Absolutely. Well, and you said it, there's 7 circles. And even on page 114, while they look like they are separate circles, there is a line through all of those circles. It's all connected. And in the middle of what keeps it all connected is you. So when we focus on you and the coaching, and we ensure that you are coming from a place where you feel creative, resourceful, and whole, and you're empowered to make decisions that support you and your life and your business, we know that's when the results show up. So I help clients, and most performance coaches, I can say, also share this. I want to speak for them all, that we coach from the lens of there is no separation between the two. And it'd be amazing if you could walk into your office and clock out of life to clock into work. And we know there is not that difference. So through coaching, we find ways of how do you find the balance? How do we keep you focused on what's important in that moment? So when you can be the best rainmaker or buyer's agent or market center leadership, whatever role you're in the time that's required to be that. So then when you go home, you can go home and be the best wife, mom, sister, whatever your role is, you can be that as well. So we aim for counterbalance. And we use a magical tool called schedule. Not sure if you've heard of it, but it really does help.
Well, I've talked with you to hear and understand your backstory and of your story of how you kind of ended up in this path of life where you are today. had a lot to do with some perseverance and challenges that you got to overcome. So you want to share just a little bit of that backstory that relates to how you are and who you are today that allows you to help so many real estate agents succeed.
Thank you. Well, in 2013, in something that felt so simple and everyday for me, I was riding my bike on the way to a yoga class, which was very typical for me. I was actually in the middle of a 100-day yoga challenge in that moment. And I sometimes joke that this is how the challenge had to stop because I probably would have kept going. I was hit by a truck as I was in the crosswalk. The truck failed to stop and slammed into my left side, threw me off the bike, flipped in the air, landed on my left side, broke my pelvis, broke my back, and shattered my left leg. And I went and lived in level 1 trauma for a month and was sent home with a false belief thinking that I was going to go back to life as normal. And instead, I was in a wheelchair for 8 weeks, had to learn how to walk again, and started physical therapy, partnered it with yoga, and had a really quick recovery because I had a vision. My daughter was going to college that September, and I wanted to walk on my own 2 feet and be there with her as she walked through the gates of University of Chicago. And it was in that time period that I actually discovered coaching.
Mm.
There was a big project that was happening in downtown Las Vegas, and there was a gentleman who's a billionaire who had just sold his company to Amazon, dream come true, had decided to say thank you to Las Vegas and invest $350 million of his own money into revitalizing our downtown with small businesses. And I was connected with someone through yoga who said, we're putting together a company that's going to support all of these small business owners with coaching, mentoring, training. Would you be interested in coming on? And I said, yes. And I came in from a perspective of a business. I'd owned a successful business before. And I learned that there was something different about mentoring and coaching, where mentoring is we tell, we share, we give from our own experience. Coaching is a partnership. And I had an opportunity to attend numerous coaching trainings, become certified as a coach, and coach through a lens that's called ICF, or it's the core competencies on how we coach. And I learned about what it means to be a coach. And I fell madly in love with the profession and the career of being a coach. Because what I noticed was it wasn't about me. It was about watching other people's goals come true and seeing their visions come to life and watching people achieve things that they never thought they could or they wanted badly. And there was this little thing in their head telling them that they couldn't do it, or stories from the past that were standing in their way. And coaching helps to clear out all of that and gives someone the opportunity to be empowered to have the life that they want. And nothing just seems more exciting to me than to help someone achieve that.
So what I heard in your story, first off, going to yoga is not only good to take care of your mind and your body and your spirit, it also can give you opportunities.
It absolutely can. And that is actually true. When I think back to my career, most of my networking and business opportunities have come from the wellness space.
Yeah.
And it's been because that's something that's passionate to me. And if I think about where do I spend the most of my time outside of when I'm in my office, that is where.
So what if, and I just had this thought pop into my brain, is, when you are a focused person on being the best self you can be, your whole self, and you're putting yourself into these places like an exercise room or hot yoga studio, which I do and I love. It's my favorite. Think of the people who are in there with you, right? Aren't you putting yourself in a place where other driven, focused people might be showing up as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. At least if for nothing else, there is an intention and a goal, right?
Right.
It can be for personal self-care. Who knows? Yet we know that those rooms attract people who are seeking some form of growth or change.
So with that, do we see that translates to our business as well, putting ourselves in the room where other people who are productive and focused may be?
Absolutely. there's another part of that too that I really enjoy coaching too, is what is it that you like to do?
Yeah.
I have so many clients right now who are diehard fans of pickleball, and we are finding ways to add pickleball into their lead generation. Where
Right.
can they go play? What teams can they? What teams can they create? Who can they reach in their database and say, "Hey, are you playing pickleball? Come join us." There's people who like to swim. There's people who enjoy, doing wine and cheese parties. Whatever it is, what do you love? What's your passion?
Yeah.
And how can you engage with your database and invite them into your world? And as a thank you, they might refer business to you.
That is
Do
so
what you love.
Yes. I mean, I was about to just yell it with you. It's like, this job is fun. I don't know if you remember Gary from the stage years ago, kind of just looking out at this huge room of all of us agents listening to the gospel to hear what we needed to do. And he just yelled at us. What are you guys doing? Have fun. You have the best job in the whole world, unlimited opportunity and growth. Just have fun. So Kimberly, I love that you're reminding us. So let's just go ahead and uncover what's really happening in our world, in today's world with real estate. The market's changed a lot for some of us, and some of us aren't having any fun right now.
No, no, and it's understandable. It's more than understandable. It happened so quickly, and it's out of our control. Much of what's happening is out of our control, and you can have the most powerful, impactful, motivating conversation with the client. They still have choice on whether or not they want to make a decision to move forward.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. Sometimes there's not a lot of fun in what we're doing. So instead, we look for what are the opportunities and the small wins.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I winning? Where can I find a little bit of fun? And if I can't find it in the business, I encourage you to find it then on your calendar for you. What's something that you've been wanting to do and we've been so busy that we haven't been able to do it? What's a hobby that you'd like to take up again? Or who's someone that you'd like to go visit? Or girlfriend or friend that you haven't spent time with? Bring the fun into your life through the other 6 circles. If job isn't being able to do it, if business isn't meeting your needs for fun right now, if your finances are at risk, that's a different story. That's an expense check, which isn't fun. Yet we can have fun by looking at other areas in our life to pour back into ourselves.
And Kimberly, I'm going to just say it, and it was my truth for so long. I know that when I was behind goal, not achieving in my business life, I felt so guilty taking off in the afternoon to have a mani-pedi or to go to that bar 3 class that I also love. I would feel guilty that I was putting time into taking care of me. I didn't see it that way back then, but instead I needed to be continuing to grind it out and find those buyers and sellers because I had to make the deals because I had a big goal and I wasn't on track. Do you see?
And even I do, and even the word there, grind it out.
Yeah.
If you think about it, in these times when we get into that mindset, I'm in a sense that's a scarcity mindset. I've got to work. I've got to do this. I've got to hit my numbers. I've got to hit the goal. I've got to get something in my pipeline. Got to. Eventually, there's a point where we're going to hit a wall. Our energy can only sustain that for so long. And it's going to come at the impact of our mindset, our mental health, our emotional health, our relationships. Just like the one thing says, those are usually the 4 that are at risk when we run ourselves ragged. We look for counterbalance. I get it. You might feel guilty because you've taken a few hours off.
Yeah.
Real estate was not meant to be a 24/7 business. And without you, there is no business. We have to continue to find ways to pour from the cup. And better yet, find ways to pour from the saucer.
Yeah.
So you aren't so depleted, that you have more to give, and it's because you've allowed yourself to be selfish.
I have
It's
a fun
okay.
Yeah, I have a fun story that just ties right in with what you said is years ago I was so honored to get to be in a room with Gary Keller teaching in a mastermind and him teaching and um what does he always start with? And this was even years ago. He was starting with taking care of himself and what he was doing physically and mentally and his exercise routine. And I remember this one girl, she raised her hand and she said, yeah, Gary, this is all great. And I think a lot of us are here to learn about how to improve in our business. And as you can imagine, in typical Gary Keller fashion, he said, well, you don't have a business if you're dead. So you're working with agents, great agents, successful people. How are you helping guide them through this new market, first and foremost, with some tactical stuff? Like, how can let's leave our audience here with some things they can do to kind of reset and refocus to finish strong?
Absolutely. I think the first is the reality. We want to accept our reality. We want to look reality in the face. And it's time to get real so we can get right about what the next step is for us to do in our business. And we get real by looking at data, not national news headlines, not state news. We want to get really clear with what's happening in your MLS, on your board, and start paying attention on a weekly basis to how many active listings, how many are going under contract, what's the days on market. These are the tools that coaches tell you. These are the tools that Gary tells us. Pay attention to these metrics. They're KPIs that give us information. So first is a reality check. Learn your market and learn your numbers. Take a look at them. 2 is then compare those numbers to your own personal business. Now we want to look at the results of the market and measure against our own goals. What's realistic? If 15 new homes are coming on the market each month and you have a goal to take 10 each month, what's our reality there? Yeah. We want to get clear with how we set ourselves up for success with the goal. And it's mid-year, a great time to reassess. And I'm going to give you another secret. Every month is a great time to reassess our goals. And then we look for a goal that's going to make us happy, that we're going to celebrate, that we're still going to be really proud of ourselves and the work that we've done. And we create that other goal. And it might be short of what the big goal is. Allow yourself permission to say that's okay. The market has proven itself to be out of my control, and I will control what I can.
You just chunk it down so easy and simple, and this is why you're a great coach. And so even if I understand this, I mean, I only have so much time left this year, right? How am I going to fit all this in? Is that an important part?
It is probably the most important part. We know that the back half of the year serves us a little bit of less time than the first half because we have shortened days that we have to get under contract to close by December 31st. We know that we have holidays, there's travel. So we want to ensure that we're looking at our calendar as a tool to guide us with our activities. Go ahead and open up your calendar now, schedule out July 1st through the end of the year, mark out the holidays, same days every year. Go ahead and get really clear. Kids back to school, mark it out. Taking them to college, mark it out. Vacations coming up, mark it all out. Put your life on the calendar and figure out where the business works around it instead of the other way around. What's that laugh for, Judy?
We're just having a dog and some dogs hanging out here. And
See, life shows up.
See, life shows up. And it's so great. And I love it. And I think that what you just shared there, though, is the reality check. So when you start doing the math on how much time is really left and how many days you really work, and you like going to the lake for the weekend and have a 3-day weekend, like do the real math and be okay with whatever the new goal is and give yourself some grace.
Yeah, absolutely. Give yourself grace and give yourself the opportunity to know that the plan may not be perfect, that the plan is built for progress, not perfection. create the plan that's going to work and work the plan.
Create the plan and run the play. Kimberly, how can we best connect with you, learn more about KW Wellness and all the good stuff that you have going on?
You can reach me at wellness@kw.com. Very simple, WELLNESS@kw.com, or visit kwwellnesscommunity.com, which will give you all the information about the community.
I'm so grateful to get to meet you, even if it's through Zoom. I can't wait to see you in person and see you at the booth at Family Reunion. And well, I'll give you a hug. I don't know. I'm a hugger.
Perfect.
I don't know if you. But thank you for sharing all that you do with us to make us better. And let's just keep focused, keep helping people, having fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'll leave it with what Gary tells us. We're here for a great career, not a great year. So let's shore up where we can, cut expenses if necessary, do what you can to get through the next 18 to 24 months, and know there is another side of that. There is an out to this. We'll work our way through it.
We sure will. Thank you again, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Bye.
Bye.